let's unbox the iPad Pro 12.9 inch 2020 and the Apple Pencil. So this is going to be a live unboxing. Well, not live, but basically going to be uncut. So hopefully I won't have to do any edits to this. I think it's kind of fun to just do sort of like raw footage sort of deal, just like Chris Perillo used to do back in the day with his live unboxings. Kind of just wanted to emulate that. Those were a lot of fun. So here is the iPad Pro 12.9 inch, the 2020 model, and the second generation Apple Pencil. Now I do have the Magic Keyboard ordered as well. I just don't have it yet, and I know I'm like a month late in unboxing this, but I wasn't really sure if I was going to update it or not. Ultimately, I decided that I would. So let me just show you guys what the cost was for this, because this is not cheap, and you know, this is really, I don't think it's meant for anyone. I don't really think an iPad Pro is something that I need either at all, and this is just definitely sort of like a luxury purchase for sure. But here is the 12.9 inch iPad Pro. I got the 256 gig model, and mainly because, you know, there are rumors, and it's probably likely that Final Cut Pro will be coming to the iPad soon. So if I do want to do video editing on the iPad, I think that's going to be a good direction to go, and usually more storage is better. So it's $999 for me. I used a student discount, so that's $100 off. So that's why it came out to be $1,000 with the 256 gig model. And then if we pull up the Apple Pencil second generation with the student discount, that comes out to $119. And then the Magic Keyboard with the student discount is $329. So like I said, very, very pricey for sure. This cost my wallet a lot. The grand total came out to be $1,548.29, and that is including tax, and shipping was obviously free once you're spending that much money. So that is how much this iPad Pro is going to cost you if you're a student, if you get the configuration and all the accessories that I did. Again, like I said, most people probably don't need this at all, and myself included. The good thing is I do like making videos about this sort of stuff. I do have an interest in tech, so this is kind of stuff that I like to spend money on, even though it's an absurd amount of money, and that's going to hurt for a while for sure. But let's get started with the unboxing and forget about the past. I did recently graduate too, so maybe that's some justification for treating myself a little bit. But let's start with the Apple Pencil. This is the second generation Apple Pencil. So you can probably see the iPad I was using when I showed you those pictures is the iPad Pro 10.5 inch from 2017. So that uses the first generation Apple Pencil. So I had to upgrade the Apple Pencil in order for it to work on this new iPad. So let's just unwrap this. Gotta say, I am extremely excited to go not only to this bigger iPad inch screen size, but you know, just to get this new redesign, which they released a year after I purchased my 10.5 inch iPad Pro, so that was a little bit of a bummer. Okay, and let's open this up. How do you, okay, so this is going to slide out of here, I believe, like that. Go. Signed by Apple. Sorry, I know it's gonna take a while to get to the iPad unboxing, so if you don't want to wait, I would definitely skip ahead. But I need to start with this first. I think it's more appropriate. Okay, so this is just some literature about the Apple Pencil, which is not that interesting. I was just kind of seeing how they folded this in here. Also, a lot of paperwork for something like an accessory, that's for sure. I don't think people need to read that much about the Apple Pencil. Let's put that away. Okay, that's on the side. So here is the Apple Pencil itself. The second generation one, so it feels a little bit lighter. Oh, this just slipped out, so we can take that off, I guess. That just slipped right off. It feels a little bit lighter for sure, and I can show you. This is the first generation Apple Pencil. This is the second generation Apple Pencil, so it's definitely shorter. It has this side of the Apple Pencil is flat, so it can magnetically attach to the iPad. It's not slippery like this one was. This one is like a glossy finish, and it was always slipping. So I used to have a grip on it because it was so slippery. But this one is not as slippery, so that feels nice. It feels a little bit more like a crayon than like a pencil. This didn't feel like a pencil either, but this feels really, it feels like glass. This one feels like glass. This one feels like the wrapper kind of a crayon a little bit. But it feels really nice. It's still weighted a little bit. It does feel a little bit lighter though. And the good thing is there are buttons on this one. So I believe there are haptic feedback buttons or like push buttons. They're not like mechanical buttons, I don't think, because I don't feel any clicks here. But this is really cool. This is a way better design for the iPad because you don't have to stick it into your iPad to charge it. You can just click it on magnetically to the side and it'll charge and pair. Whereas the other iPads that you can buy right now, you have to stick in the Apple Pencil like this to charge it and to connect it, which is really ridiculous. So I'm glad they fixed that with the new iPad Pros. So that's really cool. I'm glad to have this. So I'm gonna put this away. Close this up. Oh, this goes like this. Awesome. Okay, so that is the Apple Pencil. I'm just gonna put that on the side. Really quick, I was thinking about getting it engraved. But at the end, because I've never got anything engraved before, so I was just curious to see what that would be like. But in the end, I thought that was kind of silly. And then if I want to pass this pencil on to someone else, I didn't want it to have an engraving because that would be unfortunate for the next person who got it. So it would only have any application for me, and it's not really necessary. It doesn't really add any utility to the pencil. Okay, so this is the iPad Pro. So this is a pretty gigantic box. Just gotta say, it's thick, very thick box. So we'll see how the tablet is in comparison, but I wasn't expecting it to be this thick, honestly. So that's kind of interesting. So let's see what this is like. So we'll open this up. Like that. So like I said, the Magic Keyboard is on its way as well. I'm really interested to see how that works in my workflow. You guys may remember 3 years ago, right, in 2017, when I got the iPad Pro 10.5 inch, the one that I have right now. I set out with a goal to try to get an iPad to act as a laptop replacement, and it didn't really work out. It's still, I don't think, suitable enough, even with these new iPad Pros, to be quite a laptop replacement yet, but it's getting really close. And honestly, I think people are starting to move towards the idea of having 2 devices with them at all times, which is something that I had proposed years ago, before I started making YouTube videos. So I think in the future, what's going to happen, people are going to have a tablet and a laptop, because I think tablets are really good laptop supplements, and they don't necessarily have to completely replace your laptop. And the utility in having 2 devices, I think, is really, really good too. It can really increase productivity in a lot of ways. So if you're interested in what kind of iPad I think you should buy, you can check out my iPad buying guide that I released a couple of days ago. But yeah, I don't think most people need this iPad at all, for sure. Okay, so this is a 12.9 inch. Wow, first impressions, it's a really decent size. Like, this is exactly the size I was hoping for. So let me put that aside for a second, and let's get into the accessories. I am extremely excited to get into all of this. So here is the pamphlet. So then here's the charger, USB-C, finally moving to USB-C, which is great. And the adapter. So I'm going to leave that in the box actually for now, because I usually use third-party charging accessories in case I want to resell the device. And then inside this booklet, wow, which is, if you notice, the literature in here is quite a bit thinner than what we got in the Apple Pencil, which is kind of funny. The Apple stickers, of course. And then here is the pamphlet, if you're interested in that. I still have an iPhone 7 Plus, which came out, oh God, I don't even know when that came out now. Maybe back in 2016 that came out. So I haven't had Face ID, so this is the first product I'm gonna have that actually uses Face ID. So that's really exciting as well. Okay, so I'm gonna put this back in the box. The other thing, like I said, is just the charger, USB-C, and the adapter. So I don't need to worry about that. And I guess I can close up the whole box. So I don't know why they made such a thick box for such a thin device, but maybe it's because of this. That's kind of thick, I guess. So that could make some sense. Let me put that away. Put that here. So, I know a lot of videos are out about the Magic Keyboard already, so, maybe people don't want more videos on that at all. But I'm going to still make a video on it because I just enjoy it and I think it's fun. And basically the way the Magic Keyboard is going to work is I'm a little bit worried actually how it's going to work in my workflow, because I do take a lot of notes because I'm a student, so I take a lot of handwritten notes. And since you can't really lay the iPad flat when you have the keyboard on, it's going to be kind of interesting to see how I sort of navigate that. I think it might just have to be a lot of taking the iPad off of the keyboard and then putting it back on when I need it. So this is the iPad itself. Before I take it out of its protector, I just want to show you what it looks like. Such an incredible design, really. It's a really nice design. And there is that new camera module here. So that has the LiDAR sensor in it, and I think it has an ultra wide now built in, so I don't know if I really need that in this iPad, but that is great. And one reason, so if you do really want an iPad Pro, I honestly just recommend going with the 2018 model. You don't need the 2020 model for sure. I definitely don't need the 2020 model either. But there is one reason that kind of pushed me to get the 2020 model. Well, first of all, they ran out of the refurbished ones, the 2018 refurbished ones on their website, so that was kind of unfortunate. And the ones I could find on Amazon or eBay were more expensive than me using the student discount, so that really wasn't going to work out. But one of the reasons why I did go with the hold on, let me listen to the plastic come off really quick. Sorry, that sound is just extremely satisfying. And I'm going to get fingerprints all over this really quick, but I don't have a screen protector right now. That's okay. So one of the reasons, though, that I did find to be advantageous with this model as opposed to the 2018 model is the fact that it has studio quality mics. So you might have noticed in some of my videos I do some voiceovers, and I don't think the audio is terrible, but it's not the best. So the fact that it did offer studio quality mics, I thought maybe I might as well take a chance on that and see how it works. Plus, I'm updating from 2017, and the price difference, it didn't really make sense to save an extra $50 when you could be getting the newer device with the better mics if you just spend like an extra $50. So I just figured I would just go for it at that point. Okay, so here it is. So this is the connector for the Apple Pencil to attach magnetically. So it'll attach like this. If you're curious what screen protector I will be using, I am planning on getting the Paperlike screen protector. I know, I'm not sponsored by Paperlike or anything. I just really want to, I think, use it objectively because so many YouTubers are sponsored by Paperlike, and I just want to try it myself and give people an objective feedback as to what I think about that screen protector. They are like back-ordered right now or pre-ordered, so they're not really shipping any, so that's why I don't have that screen protector with me right now. But whenever it is available, hopefully I will be able to pick it up and put it on the iPad. In the meantime, I guess I'm going to go without a screen protector on the iPad, which is kind of risky. This is going to get a ton of fingerprints really quickly, which is super unfortunate, but it is an iPad, so it is meant to be touched. That is how it is. So let me boot this up and see what we're working with. So I'm probably going to do the initial setup, but once I start transferring my data to this new iPad, I'm guessing it's going to take a little bit of time, so I'll probably have to end the video then, but in the meantime, we can at least get it booted up and see what settings it offers. In terms of the weight of the iPad, it does not feel that heavy, and I think it's because it's distributed over such a large area that holding the iPad, it doesn't feel that big or heavy. The screen size, I was debating between this and the 11-inch, and I'm so glad I went with the bigger one already. I can just tell it's just so much nicer to have a bigger screen, and I usually prefer bigger screens on all my devices anyway, from phones to laptops. So I think this was definitely the right choice for me. And as a note taker, it definitely helps to have more real estate when you're writing notes, because then you can make your drawings and plan your notes better, and you can write a little bit easier for sure. So if you are going to take notes and you can afford the bigger one, I think you should definitely do it. The unfortunate thing is this is you can only get the iPad Pro in this size. You can't get any other iPad in this size, so that is a bit unfortunate. Just briefly, like holding it with one hand, what I can tell is it's definitely not the most comfortable experience holding it with one hand, but it's still doable. So I don't think it'll be that big of an issue if you need to hold it with one hand, because I do read a lot too, so I was wondering how this would handle as like an e-reader, and it's not too bad, at least in landscape orientation. Maybe portrait orientation it's more uncomfortable, but at least so far it doesn't feel too bad at all. Okay, so battery's at 100%. That's awesome. We're in the US. Quick start. Okay, we will quick start it. So let me bring my current iPad, the 10.5-inch iPad Pro. It's asking me if I want to set it up on here. I don't want to give you my email, but it's basically showing up here. So I'm going to click continue on this iPad to set it up, and this one. Okay, so I have to do this scanning thing, which I've done before with like Apple Watches and stuff. So where is the scan? Okay, here's the scan. Okay, the scan went through. Keep this iPad near your iPad while your information is transferred. Okay. enter the passcode of your other iPad. Let me enter that in really quick. Setting up iPad. That's what it says. It may take a few minutes to activate your iPad. Like I said, this might take a while, so I might have to end the video around here. While it's doing this, I'll give you a quick comparison of this iPad with this new one with the old one. So it definitely looks a little bit thicker, I think, than the 10.5 inch, or maybe they're about the same. But this squared design is way better than this rounded design that they have in the iPad Airs and in the budget iPads. So I definitely prefer this newer design. Obviously, the bezels are uniform across, which is not the case for the older iPads. Okay, Face ID. Let me do that really quick here. Okay, can we do it in portrait mode? Get started, position my head in the frame, move my head around. Sorry, I can't really show this to you. It did 2 scans so far, and it says it's set up. So that is awesome. By the way, the front-facing camera was really great. It has really great quality. I don't know what type of camera is in the front-facing camera, but I was really surprised by it. In fact, I think it's better than what's in the MacBooks. In fact, I am 1,000% sure it's better than the MacBooks, because the MacBook cameras are awful. Yeah, you know, it's 2020, and they just released a new MacBook Pro, right? What is that? Yesterday they released it, and yeah, still a 720p camera. That's kind of sad. Okay, so it's setting up my Apple ID in the meantime. So we'll let that go. I don't know how much longer this is going to take. Restore your apps and data. Okay, so my old iPad was last backed up on May 4th at 11:01 p.m. Okay, would you like to back up now so you can restore your new iPad? Okay, let me update the backup before I restore it. So you can see on my old iPad, now it is updating its backup. And then once this is updated, it'll start transferring to the new one. Okay, so terms and conditions here, I agree to those. You can restore the following settings. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever settings I had was okay. We'll click continue. Apple Pay, yeah, continue with that. Okay, these are my credit cards. Yeah, I use all 4 of those. Those are good. Okay. Oh, actually, I don't need this card, I guess. Let me check that off. Agree with Apple Cash. I mean, the iPad unboxing experience is pretty much done, so I understand if you don't want to continue watching the video. Usually when Chris Pirillo, if you guys don't know, Chris Pirillo is a YouTuber, and he used to do these live unboxings all the time, and he used to take questions from the live stream. He would do it as a live stream, so it was always a lot of fun to watch those, and they'd be like 30 minutes long. You know, he would go through the whole video, and yeah, basically everyone would have a good time. Okay, sorry, so I just have to enter in my credit card details here really quick, which I definitely don't want to show. Okay, next. Entering my credit card on there. Apple Pay is pretty useful, I have to say. It makes things a lot easier to buy things online because you don't have to keep re-entering your card details. And okay, so that card was added. Oh, one more card. Okay, enter the security code. Security code is blank. Next. Agree. Adding the card. Card added. All right. Is there another one? Okay, so this is how you do Apple Pay. So there's no home button, right? So there is a new way to do it, and it is by clicking the power button twice to confirm payment in apps on the web. Okay, interesting. I also don't know how to take screenshots with this now because there is no home button, so I'll have to look that up. Or if you guys want to tell me in the comments how you take screenshots, let me know. That's a little weird. I don't want to share my audio recordings. You can share app analytics. That should be okay. Do you guys share your audio recordings? That seems a little bit strange to willingly share your audio recordings. Okay, let me enter in password. Oh yeah, this has been happening to me. I don't know what this Apple ID is, but for some reason this Apple ID has been associated with my account for a while now, and I don't know what this is at all. Like, this is not my Apple ID or my email. I won't share it because I don't want to violate their privacy, but we're going to skip that. Yeah, I don't know what purchases I've ever made from that account. Like, I don't even know where that account came from. But for some reason, every time I get a new device, that account has been showing up. Okay, and now it is restoring from iCloud. So that might take a little bit of time because that hasn't even moved a little bit. So I think I will end the video here. So hopefully this was a little bit of fun. I know there's thousands of videos now. Everyone and their mom has made a video on these new iPad Pros, and everybody and their mom and their grandmother has made a video on the Magic Keyboard. So there's a lot of content on this, I know, already. But it's just so much fun for me to share my experience with you guys. If you guys have questions as how I'm using it as a student, or how I plan to use it, my use case, and the accessories I'm going to get, because I have to kind of find like the perfect balance to really use it with the new Magic Keyboard. You know, it's going to be a whole thing, but this is exciting. So if you have any questions about any of it, you know, feel free to let me know. I'm happy to talk about this stuff. If there's certain apps you want me to try, or there's certain note-taking experiences you want me to share even more, let me know. This has been a lot of fun for me. Hopefully it was fun for you as well. But that about wraps it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. There will be a ton more content coming out on this. Whether you like it or not, I like making videos about iPads, so stay tuned for that. Okay, that's about it. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one.